Jet, why don't we take a look at a Rev video? Um, we have a couple of options here. Rev apparently is doing. Rev did a video 2 days ago that I actually was thinking about watching. I've seen the Asmon Steak video, Kanito. No, I have no interest in seeing the Asmon Steak video. Rev did a video 2 days ago. Remember how we talked about on stream that Visa and MasterCard thing? How basically because Visa and MasterCard refused to process payments for that one Japanese company because they did adult content. And due to that, the entire company had to basically like shut down. So you remember we talked about that news article? Well, Rev did a video about Visa and MasterCard doing the exact opposite. Yes, Zeb. Yes. Huh? Well, it's not just that. Apparently, they were doing some very sick illegal shit. It was sick illegal shit. So once the ads stop, I will wait until the ads have concluded. We'll do, we'll do this rap video. I'll pull this up real quick. And just let me know when the ads are over. Just yeah, illegal stuff, and Andy. This is, yeah, they basically were like, they don't like a Japanese company doing adult content, but apparently they let another company do very illegal shit. Basically, from what I read from the title. Like, I have not watched this video, but the title alone indicates that they are basically processing payments for illegal activities. So, but I'll wait to start until the video, until ads are done, so just let me know when the ads are done. Guys, tell whoever has ads, let me know when the videos are, let me know when the ads are over. Robo, you're back from ads? Okay. KitchenAid, are you back from ads? Xanax, you're done with ads? Okay. And you're back. Okay. Good. Hi, chat. Yes. Am I going to rage? Very likely. I will try not to turn this into an hour. No promises. So, if I'm gonna rage, I'm gonna fucking rage. So, let's go.
Hey, what's up, guys? We're up here. So today we're going to be talking about some pretty serious stuff, and I'm pretty sure based on the content of what we're going to be discussing
Thank
today,
you,
this video is going to
nickname.
get bonked from many different angles. Basically, a lot of the terms we're going to be discussing today are like algorithm repellent, so I would definitely appreciate comments, engagement, likes, sharing this video, whatever, because it's going to be probably quite limited. So we're going to be talking about Visa and MasterCard and some allegations they are currently facing thanks to a whistleblower report as well as some other material. Now, Visa and MasterCard are incredibly influential payment processors who have essentially dominated the global market. And we've seen how they've taken their influence and tried to control the behavior of various platforms and businesses. We have made.
Yeah, well, again, like the new, I don't know if Rev talked about it on his channel, but we talked about it on this channel about how they caused the company to literally shut down because they refused to do payment processing for them because they did not safe for work content. And that's when I went on that whole fucking rant about how Visa and MasterCard have way too much fucking power to basically control what businesses survive and which do not. By saying, oh, we don't like your business model or we don't like what you sell, so we're not going to support payments for you. What Revan, from what I understand, from what people have said when we talked about the other one, is Discovery is much more, they're more hands off from my understanding what people in chat have said. They're more hands-off on this shit. And, Hiram Strider, thank you for the follow.
Multiple videos over the past couple of years talking about these companies going out and trying to give particularly Japanese companies an ultimatum. Either you censor this type of fictional content on your platform, or we're going to pull away our services, leaving the companies and platforms with pretty
terrifying,
much
Andy.
two
It
really
is terrifying.
bad choices. So, what's happening now is actually something we see a lot involving people who are virtue signaling about fictional content. Allegations involving real-life children being harmed. So here is a article discussing various reports from Reuters over recent days and weeks. So you can see the title here. Exclusive. U.S. whistleblower says MasterCard Visa failed to stop payments for CSAM on OF. Now I'm going to have to use a lot of abbreviations in this video to try to keep it afloat here, but that headline is probably not too surprising. These sorts of allegations are not surprising given the greed of these companies and what they'll do to just make another buck. Now, before we get into the allegations...
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, Revan, that is the other question. It is not only Visa in this. It is 100% why did OnlyFans allow this? Yeah, what? Like, they are the content site. Why the hell did OF not go, ban instantaneously? And then after that, Visa going, yeah, we're not gonna be supporting this anymore. Like, this is like multi-layered fucked up right now. The payment processing being only the lower rung of fucked upness at this point. The finger definitely is gonna be pointing a hell of a lot more at OS going, how in the holiest of fucks did you allow this on your platform? Why, the moment this was discovered on your platform, did you not immediately A, ban it, and B, contact authorities on it? That is the number one thing. The Visa allowing this kind... The story here with Visa allowing payments on OF when it was showcasing this is tertiary. It is like secondary. It is. But it's... In this case, it's highlighting the grotesque hypocrisy of Visa, where they're saying, oh yeah, these Japanese companies have NSFW that involves consenting adults, and they're going to say, we're not going to process payments for you, but OF has literal CSAM on it, and they're like, yeah, cool, we'll take your money. And again, I'm pretty sure I said this when we were talking about the Japanese company getting shut down, is they weren't making Visa money. That's why they said, we're not going to process your payments anymore. You're not making us enough money. Regardless of the fact that you're selling NSFW adult content, because you're not making us bank, we're not going to process payments for you under the auspice of righteousness. OF, on the other hand, Visa is making fucking billions with a B off of OF. And so, yeah, they don't give a fuck because they're making billions off this goddamn site.
And the report from the whistleblower here. Let's introduce the CEO of OF, Kaylee Blair, an Irish lawyer and self-described feminist and safety nerd who was recently promoted to the CEO position in 2023. Yeah, feminist and owner of OF. That is hilarious. And then safety nerd means
feminist and are you fucking serious right now? And by the way, key note here, self-described feminist. That is a key note of distinction there. She's not generally perceived as a feminist by the community at large. She is self-described as a feminist. Translation, it means precisely fuck all. She's self-describing herself as something just to say, look at how wonderful I am. How do you do, fellow feminists? I too am one of you. Promote me, please.
Meanwhile, her company's spending about $100,000 a year on detecting illegal material on their platform. Meanwhile, the company generates billions upon billions. But anyway, she continues on here, and the article says she presents herself and her platform as a lucrative and empowering, particularly for women, and often mentions her two daughters. I want them to have a good online life, she told delegates at a UK child protection conference in 2023. I want the same for your kids. That is a potentially very bizarre set of statements there, but anyways.
This, by the way, quite frankly, thank you for the follow. This statement right here. I want them to have a good online life. Kylie Blair. No one. Absolutely fucking no one thinks OnlyFans is anything but a paid corn site. And you're saying I want them to have a good online life by being CEO of basically 100% pay for corn. You fucking hypocritic bitch. And the hypocrisy is only just skyrocketed here with these new accusations. Because again, the visa thing is tangential compared to the fact that OF didn't do fuck all about it.
Let's talk about OF as a platform. It's one that I have an issue with, and a lot of people have an issue with. You know, I'm in no ways a Puritan. I don't really care what consenting adults do. However, the way that OF has marketed itself, particularly towards...
Look at, I don't know if Reb's gonna read it. Look at the bottom here. People flock to OF, she says, because it offers ethical porn. Although she prefers not to use what she calls the P word. Like, what kind of batshit crazy logic is this? It offers ethical porn, but she doesn't even like calling it porn. She doesn't like to use the P words. Like, sweetheart, what kind of fucking company do you think you're CEO of at this point? How fucking delusional are you? That you don't even like using the P word. But you promote OS because it offers ethical corn. Like, this is like we're like approaching mental disorder levels of insanity right here with this woman. She is twisting herself into fucking knots to try and say, I don't care that we are basically pay for Pornhub. It's making me millions of dollars. Give me money. She's twisting herself into a Peruvian fucking knot to make herself seem righteous when guaranteed all she cares about is, yeah, this site is making me fucking millions as the CEO.
Young women for years and years is something that I think is exploitative. They try to sell these young women a dream that if they post content on this platform, they're going to make a lot of money. They're going to change their life around, and it's going to be a very empowering experience. You can see those words being used directly to describe this platform, when the reality is only a small portion of the top 1% of the content creators on that website are going to turn any sort of a substantial amount of revenue. And unfortunately, a lot of people get the perception
OF takes a huge
because every like month or two, some person from OF will post screenshots claiming they made like $50 million last year. And
that's
the average person working like 60, 70 hours a week for dirt sees that and wants to jump off a bridge. However, those are the whales of the platform who are making most...
I'd say it's not even the whales. I'd say a lot of the OF girls that say that they're making a fuck ton of money on OF are lying. They're trying to buff themselves up in the social sphere to try and like entice people who have not subscribe to their OF to go, huh, if this girl's making that much money, basically the horny guys, if this girl's making so much money, she must be putting out some really hot content. I should check this out and spend whatever the fuck they're paying for OF. So it's not just the whales that are saying it, because anybody can say, I'm making $50,000 doing OF. Look, I just bought this house. Like, I just bought this house, this beautiful house in cash. It's not actually their house, or they're renting. It's all a show. It's all a fucking show game and a scam. And the OF girls that are saying I'm making 50,000 and showing off that they have these wonderful houses and stuff. Number one, it's fake. Number two, they're just trying to promote themselves and entice people to go to their OF under false pretenses.
Most of the revenue, the rest of the people on the platform, they're making not very much or nothing at all. And a lot of people, I think, reasonably to be understood,
I'll get into that,
might regret their decision. They were sold a dream that didn't happen, and now they regret putting themselves out on this platform in such an exposing way. And that is why I think there's something very exploitative about this particular platform. So I'm not too surprised.
Okay, a lot of people in chat are asking, why would anybody pay for OF when there are thousands of other places where you can get the stuff for free? There's one key thing with OF. A lot of people that do OS, bearing in mind, they say, this is not actually true, that in addition to the spicy content that they put out, they also will message back, for the sure cost, they will do personal messages with you. They'll basically DM with you back and forth for a private experience where they'll either just talk with you or they'll do like sexy talk or something. It's not a chatbot, but they will actually have other people talk to you. So like the really successful ones, they just hire usually guys to chat back and forth with their customers doing spicy chat. I don't even think it's a chatbot. I think it's just other like people they hire for minimum wage, and they'll do chats back and forth with the customers, thinking that it's actual OF model when it's not. And yes, sometimes they'll do custom videos and stuff like that. They may have switched over to bots. They may have. I know before it was they'd hire people out for like minimum wage, just chat back to do chats back and forth with customers for like that personal chat thing. That was also a big part of OF. I don't know if it still is or not, but that was part of it.
To see this platform that is so driven by revenue, selling itself as a place for feminism, despite taking 20% of all the revenue for themselves, then having this issue where they're colliding with MasterCard and Visa, who's essentially the middleman on these transactions. And let's get into the actual article
there you go,
here. So from Reuters, MasterCard and Visa failed to stop their payment networks from laundering proceeds from CSAM and S-trafficking on the popular website OF. According to allegations in a previously undisclosed whistleblower complaint filed with the U.S. Treasury's Financial Crimes Unit. The whistleblower, a senior compliance expert in the credit card and banking industries, said the two giant card companies knew their networks were being used to pay for illegal content on the site since at least 2021 and accused them of turning a blind eye to flows of illicit revenue.
Fuck. That is not good. Their old fucking meter just went up several notches. $500 a month for the Bigglesworth? Yeah, so it's about what I thought. Cost what? About what they were getting paid. That's about what I thought. So probably not even minimum wage. Okay, that's about what I thought. Yeah, this just upped Visa and MasterCard's fuck factor by a couple notches. That they've known about it. That they've known about this since 2021 and just turned a blind eye because why, chat? Money. Yeah. They want that money. Fucking hell. So not only is OF turning the blind eye to make money, but Visa and MasterCard are turning the same blind eye. So the gap is closing in terms of how fucked up these two companies are with this entire story. This is just fucking disgusting. And I'm sorry, there needs to be charges against the CEO of OF and the fucking CEO of MasterCard and Visa. If this was known, and there's evidence to prove that this was known, fucking charge them. Throw them in fucking prison. Don't just go with financial crimes. You can initiate it with financial crimes. Pull the fucking FBI into this. Because this is a federal crime. We are talking a federal crime here. No, quite frankly, I understand that the U.S. Treasury Financial Crimes Department has a great deal of power. Fuck's sake, the Treasury Department's the ones who put Al Capone away. So yeah, I appreciate the fact that the Treasury Department, Financial Crimes Unit has a great deal of power. Double slap them. Double slap the fuck out of them right now. With the Treasury Department on the financial side and the FBI on the CSA side. Hit them from both angles and fuck their worlds up.
Complaint was filed in January of 2023 with the Treasury's Financial Crimes Enforcement Network, FinCEN, and the U.S. Justice and Homeland Security Departments, the whistleblower said. So basically right here, financial crimes,
that's
right?
Good.
Because if this is true, they're essentially committing
money
laundering by being the middle.
Andy, that's why I said it becomes a federal crime, because it's being done internationally, which is why the FBI would get involved. And potentially speaking, if they are so inclined to partake, the agencies of the countries where these accounts that have purchased this content originate from. Potentially this could potentially blow up to be a worldwide law enforcement action. It's not going to. Let me preface this. It's not going to go that route. I know it's not, unfortunately, but it could. This has the trappings of potentially being a worldwide law enforcement action.
Middleman of these illegal transactions. But the complaint said that the whistleblower and other anti-trafficking experts, including U.S. federal agents, alerted Visa and MasterCard to unlawful content on OF. In a series of calls in 2021 and 2022, the federal agents corroborated the presence of CSEM on OF, the complaint said.
Oh, God.
It also drew heavily on a 2022 study by anti-trafficking groups that said they found a high volume of OF accounts with common indicators of abuse material or as trafficking. The whistleblower said he helped with the study, which was shared with the card companies. On OF, Visa and MasterCard process payments between content creators and their customers. When the content is CSAM, the card companies are directly handling the proceeds of these illicit transactions, said the complaint.
So they're the money people. This is no different. Well, no, sorry. Let me rephrase. It is very different. But this is in the same vein as OF being the mob and Visa and MasterCard being the money guy with the ledger. Like, fucking charge them. Fucking charge them with a crime. Seriously, if nothing happens, because if this investigation goes nowhere, the implications are going to be fucking staggering. Because then it means that OF can still do whatever the hell it wants, and Visa and MasterCard can do whatever the hell it wants. What is that going to say for everyone? It's going to, especially with Visa and MasterCard, it means that they're going to continue to basically have their foot on the neck of every business in the world and have zero repercussions behind it. And in the meantime, they're going to continue to be making billions. Actually, fucking billions. Now, the other question I have, and I will pose this question out there to the internet. I know people that participate in this don't watch my stream, don't watch my YouTube channels, but I will pose the question, and chat, if you wish to pose a respectful question to the individuals as well on various forms of social media, respectfully, please feel free to do so. For all content creators that are currently utilizing OF for their spicy content, now that this story is coming to light, that OF, Visa, and MasterCard are allowing CSMA on their platform since 2021, will you continue to use OF to post your spicy content? Will you continue to use this platform that, yes, innocent until proven guilty, yes, there is at present, seemingly credible evidence to this in that there was a study done that showed a high volume of OF accounts holding this, and that federal agents alerted Visa and MasterCard to unlawful content on OF in calls in 2021 and 2022. So it's not like this is just someone spouting off bullshit. This is multiple different sources have indicated that this is happening. So, people that use OF, are you going to continue to do so? Knowing, with this story having broken, knowing this is happening.
By continuing to process payments on OF, MasterCard and Visa had willfully failed to maintain effective anti-money laundering programs required by the Bank Secrecy Act.
I know, it's a big ask.
Which argued FinCEN and 2 other federal agencies to take action against the card companies. Reuters reviewed an email confirming FinCEN had received the complaint. In response to questions, the agency said it doesn't confirm or deny the existence of whistleblower complaints. The Justice and Homeland Security Departments declined to comment, because apparently this isn't a very important issue to them. But anyways, Reuters could not determine what action, if any.
Hang up. The agency doesn't confirm or deny the existence of the whistleblower complaints. They declined to comment. Understandable. If there's an active investigation into this, no, they're not going to comment. Okay, this makes perfect sense for these agencies. Yeah, exactly, Drawing Notes. If there's an active investigation into this, they're not going to comment. So this is not the. I don't know if this author of this article wrote this as an own. Rev from let me hear how he says that again.
Homeland Security Departments declined to comment, because apparently this isn't a very important issue to them. But anyway.
Okay. Yeah. Revs, I love your stuff. They're not going to. Not during an active investigation. They won't. Yeah, especially an investigation like this, especially something involving underage people, they're not going to comment on a massive investigation like this. This makes... I'm glad they said this instead of disclosing something that could alert these companies to where they are at. I absolutely... Yeah. This kind of stuff, it's not like what you see with some of the other things, like, they're not going to publicly say how the investigation is proceeding with a case like this.
Anyways, Reuters could not determine what action, if any, the agencies took in response to the complaint, which was filed under FinCEN's anti-money laundering whistleblower program launched in 2021. Under that program, complaints are confidential and the identity of the whistleblower is protected. However, Reuters reviewed the complaint, interviewed the whistleblower on condition of anonymity, and corroborated his identity and credentials. The complaint said he had extensive expertise in fighting money laundering. Now, it starts to get interesting here. In an interview, the whistleblower said the agencies never contacted him to discuss the complaint. The card companies had the power to turn off the switch to stop illicit material from being monetized.
But they're getting money.
MasterCard and Visa said they hadn't heard of the 2023 whistleblower complaint until Reuters contacted them. They disputed the complaint's allegations and cited their efforts to keep.
That's a bunch of bullshit. Because back here, where'd it go? Yeah, federal agents alerted Visa and MasterCard to the unlawful contact back in 2021 and 2022, so that was a fucking lie. That was a fucking lie. They hadn't heard about the complaint? Yeah, the federal agencies had contacted them 2 years prior. The lie detector tester, fucking hell. The lie detector test determined that was a goddamn fucking lie.
Credentials. The complaint said, in an interview, the whistleblower said the agencies never contacted him to discuss the complaint. The card companies had the power to turn off the switch. They hadn't heard of the 2023 whistleblower complaint until Reuters contacted them. They disputed the complaint's allegations and cited their efforts to keep their networks free of illegal activity. Well, would you look at that? They finally discovered these complaints only after the mainstream media made them aware of it, quote unquote, aware of it very recently. As we'll see, not only was this whistleblower complaint made back in the beginning of 2023, there's also other instances where this stuff has been happening on their platform, and I think it's obvious that there is an issue with OF, and I don't think that's too surprising. But let's skip ahead a little bit in the article here, where it says, since the whistleblower complaint was filed, Reuters uncovered more allegations of CSA and S-trafficking on OF, a site that generates money through subscriptions and pay-per-view content, which is also a very big issue with reporting this content because it's all paywalled. That's the issue. It's a subscription-based thing that they say is empowering for the people operating on the website, but that makes it hard to see any of the content that might be violative or exploiting people, because you need to actually pay to see it. So a lot of these organizations that are, whether they're nonprofits or related agencies who cover this sort of illicit content, they have to pay to even have a chance to search through these potentially illegal accounts. And it's really on OF and their payment processors, Visa and MasterCard, to handle and monitor this stuff. But they're not doing a very good job, in my opinion, and according to this whistleblower and other sources.
That's the thing. Like, okay, investigation aside, taking any federal investigation into both of the companies aside, it is on the platform owner and the payment processor. If you see illegal shit happening like this, it is your responsibility to take action. You are responsible financially and legally for the content you allow on your platform or that you allow payments through for. It is on you. You are the front line. Exactly, Falcon, and that's what I was talking about earlier. And why do they shut down the Japanese sites but let OF continue on through? Because OF is making them fucking billions. So they don't fucking care. It's literally as simple as that. They don't care who's hurt in the process. They don't care about how many young people are destroyed by this. They don't care. Because they're making their money. And it's not their fucking young people. So why should they care? And it's sick, it's disgusting, and enraging. And there are a great many things that I would love to say regarding the CEO of OF, Visa, and MasterCard turning a blind fucking eye to this. I'm not going to, because if I do, I will start screaming and crying. Because this is this is subject matter you don't fuck with. You do not fuck with this. These are these are these are kids. Okay? These people are stealing these kids' innocence and lives. They are the lowest of the fucking low. They do not deserve to breathe. And I want to say more. I want to say a lot more. I'm not going to, though, because I'm barely holding it together right now. And if I say more, I'm gonna lose it, so I'm gonna keep going.
Sources. So in July, the news organization reported that hundreds of sexually explicit videos and images of minors, some as young as toddlers. And by the way, I read the original Reuters report on that sort of section, and it is absolutely vomit inducing. It is the most disgusting stuff ever. But this stuff has appeared on the site since 2019, according to allegations in police
Jesus
complaints.
fucking Christ.
In December,
Jesus fucking Christ. Oh my fucking God. It's them. Kidding me? You fucking kidding me right now? God! How the fuck is this still open? How the hell is this whole company not been shut down? Oh my fucking God! Oh my fucking God, how are these people still breathing? Jesus fucking Christ. Oh God. And Bill, I can't let it stop. I can't. I have to see this through. I cannot stop it just because it makes me feel horrible. I have to see this through.
a child exploitation investigator told Reuters that he had reported 26 OF accounts to authorities that appeared to contain sexual content featuring underage teen girls. The accounts were quickly taken down, said the investigator. Another story focused on women who said they had been enslaved, sometimes by their fiance or boyfriend, to make money on the platform. There's a lot of complaints about that. And here's the thing, I'm not naive, and no one should be about this. There is illegal content on any major platform.
Yeah.
It's a big problem whether it's on places like X or Instagram or what have you. This stuff is going to unfortunately exist due to the nature of the internet, okay? But how these companies respond is really, really important. And across the board, in my opinion, they do a terrible job dealing with the very serious illegal content being posted on these platforms, reports not being reviewed at all, report systems being clogged with false reports, things like that, weighing this all down. But when it comes to OF, there's something very odd. Again, based on the subscription based
Hey,
model of this platform, I think it's all up onto OF and their payment processors to handle a lot of these reportings, right? However, as a spokes
wait. So OF is based in the UK. So Interpol could jump on this. This is Interpol's fucking backyard. Interpol. I have to wonder if they've already started an investigation onto this. Yeah, this well, even though it's not a US-based company, the FBI still could work it because FBI can work international cases if this is happening overseas and it happens in the US. I can imagine that Interpol and the FBI are working in conjunction together. I absolutely can. I absolutely could see that. Well, it doesn't matter where Interpol is based, Wayne. Interpol is global. Interpol is a global law enforcement agency. They will go everywhere. So, yeah, exactly. And OF has a U.S. branch, yeah. So that means the FBI's got jurisdiction for the U.S. stuff. Interpol and the FBI could probably go after the UK. Not only that, but the UK law enforcement could go after this. It's like I hope to fucking God that there's a major investigation happening right now.
spokesperson has noted, OF itself made only 347 reports to NCMEC, a related agency who investigates this stuff, in 2023. So in the entire year of 2023, they only reported 347 times, compared to the millions of instances that are reported by other social media platforms. So 347
right.
versus millions. And they have hundreds of millions of posts being made every single year on their platform, but they only bring in 300 or so reports. They're clearly not doing that great of a job. It's hard to believe that they're really giving it their all to monitor what's going on with
they're
their
doing
platform. I think that should be a
cursory
big red
job.
flag for a lot of people looking at this. Let's continue on.
They're doing a cursory job just so they can say, "Look, we're doing good. We're doing our part." That's yeah. This is just a very pathetic veneer of, "Oh yes, look at us. We're being righteous and stopping this. Aren't we wonderful? Please, everyone, clap."
The MasterCard spokesperson called Reuters' findings on this abuse on OF alarming, but said law enforcement or certain child protection groups would need to provide evidence of illegal activity for the company to act or investigate. Visa didn't comment on whether the company was investigating Reuters' findings. They're probably not, because it's not a good look for them. And also, going
Of
back to
course
the
not.
lack of reports, it's not just because if these allegations are true, they want to profit off of this illegal content. It's also to protect their brand. They don't want to be obviously exposed for this. So of course they're not going to look
Oh
into
yeah.
these things. Of course they're not going to make a lot of reports if these allegations are true, because they'll make their platform look bad and they're going to be punished as a result of that. So they don't
And
want
they'll
to invest these.
and people will flee from the platform like crazy. And they won't make any more money. Let's not fuck with it. They don't care about being punished. They've got lawyers. They'll plead down to like fines or something. None of them will see jail time with that. What they're more scared of is that if it goes public like this, people will flee from their platform because they're not going to want to be involved with a platform that has been openly exposed for CSMA, and thus it harms their brand and they're not going to make as much money. So let us not fuck with it that they're worried about being punished. They do not fucking care, because the punishment they get will be little more than a slap on the wrist, even financially. That will do nothing if they still maintain their current business. Uh, I I I I I, I don't know, Tornado. there are plenty of people in our sphere, in our current sphere on Twitch that make use of it. I have to imagine that now that Rev has put this out, that word is going to get out. I don't I don't think we need to message people within our sphere. I'm thinking they already know and they've got to make their own decisions. They have to make their own decisions about this, whatever that decision might be.
Investigate these things as a financial incentive. But anyways, UK-based OF didn't respond to questions about the whistleblower complaint. On its website, the company says it enforces a zero-tolerance policy against any content relating to this stuff and blocks or takes down material that violates its rules. It said it also reports illegal content to law enforcement and child protection groups. In a previous statement, OF told Reuters it works to aggressively target, report, and support the investigations and prosecutions of anyone who abuses
No, they
the
don't.
platform. And yeah, you can see just the crazy
Bullshit.
amount of revenue here, but let's go to the next section.
Like I said, 6.6 billion. And OF made 1.3 billion in revenue. There you go. You think they're gonna actually report shit and take that number, bring that number down? Fuck no.
In uncomfortable images, as it's described. Many P-site websites are free to make money, mostly from advertising. OF, by contrast, takes a 20% cut of the income its creators earn from selling content to subscribers who must enter their card details to pay for it. OF accepts cards by MasterCard, Visa, and Discover, and it appears that Discover really doesn't have much of a presence there. And also, just understand, I think in the US, for example, MasterCard and Visa are responsible for like 80+% of credit card transactions. I mean, they have an absolute stranglehold on the market.
Oh, yes, they do.
But anyways, let's look down here for a second, okay? In 2020, Visa, MasterCard, and Discover blocked customers from using their cards to make...
Rax, Patreon won't do it. Patreon does not allow spicy content. They've stopped allowing people to put spicy content on Patreon some time ago. Basically the only options for these content creators is to go to the more traditional site of the hub. That's kind of they used to, but Patreon has stopped allowing spicy content. It may allow hentai, but it's definitely not allowing live action porn. Fansly might be an option. I don't know. That could be another option. Do they? Do they, Seb? Okay, I hadn't heard about that. I'd only heard about the regular Patreon not allowing it anymore.
Make purchases on PH, another big adults-only platform, due to public outcry over alleged CSAM and other illegal content. So that was an absolute shit show, for a lack of a better term. In case you don't know what happened back in 2020 with that whole situation, there was major allegations made against PH, and it was saying that their platform had a litany of illegal material, and how they responded to that, very eyebrow-raising. So what did they do? They essentially nuked their entire website. They deleted around 90% of the videos on the platform. Millions and millions of...
I vaguely remember hearing about this some time ago. The hub stopped allowing like amateur uploads, and the only uploads allowed on PH had to come from actual like studios, established studios. There was no more they stop allowing user uploads to the hub. So it stopped being like basically a YouTube version of Corn, because that's what the hub used to be like. It basically used to be the YouTube version of Corn with also professional studios in there too. They stopped allowing users to upload, and now it's only studios that can upload to the hub, which would basically be the verified accounts. It would be legit Corn studios that that have full documentation, all the legal stuff that they can provide to the hub. Those are the only ones that can upload on the hub.
of videos. Now, of course, not every video that was deleted or taken down was something that was illegal. However, it shows that their curation of their own content on their website was so bad and so unchecked that they were just overwhelmed, and to save themselves from even more consequences, they just nuked everything. They said anything that even could possibly be illicit, it's gone. We're not taking a chance. So it almost seems very suspicious to people that they had to do that sort of a response to those allegations.
No,
But anyways,
your
there
dog,
is
it was
a
taken
lot
down
more
in
that's going
nukes. It
on
wasn't
with OF.
geo-locked.
So in May of 2021, the BBC detailed several cases of explicit videos of underage teens on OF. 3 months later, 102 members of Congress called for a Justice Department investigation into alleged CSAM on OF. The department declined to comment on the status of that request. Of course, they declined.
And again, I know Rev is, you know, with the tone, with stuff like an investigation like this, it's they're not going to talk about it openly. Yeah, and especially when we're talking international stuff, there's cooperation with international agencies. Investigation like this are not quick. These kinds of investigations are years long because they are international. It's not like it's local. There's a lot of shit to go through. There's a lot of interagency communication and coordination that needs to happen. This is not something that goes fast, so of course they're going to decline on the status of the request. They're not going to say in an open forum what the status of an active investigation is, or even talk about the active investigation. Yeah, we may not like it because we want to know. We want to know what the fuck is going on here, but it is understandable that they're like being very quiet about it.
Find that. In 2021, senior executives at MasterCard held a tense call with a group of anti-trafficking experts, some of whom wanted the company to cut ties with OF, according to a person who attended. The site was hosting CSAM, the experts told the MasterCard executives, and one expert, a U.S. federal agent, said he could prove it. During the call, said the attendee, the agent accessed an OF account with sexually explicit images of what he said was a young girl. The agent described the images to others on the call but didn't share them, which would have been illegal. MasterCard told Reuters that its team had one call with a group in which explicit and uncomfortable images were discussed, but said it couldn't confirm when the call took place. Afterward,
no, because of course not.
The card company requested that all financial institutions connecting OF to its payment network confirm the site's compliance with our standards and applicable law, the MasterCard spokesperson said. Well, yeah, that's the general response when you don't want to address.
Yeah, that's corporate bullshit speak for saying we don't care that there's illegal shit going on here. We want our money. So we don't fucking care.
The actual issue itself, you just make this very generic statement that every company says on this sort of material. But anyways, each one of them affirmed that status, he said, without identifying the institutions. In April of 2022, the Anti-Human Trafficking Intelligence Initiative, a U.S. nonprofit, published its study which the whistleblower complaint drew upon. ATII whose work includes identifying illegal content online, reported that it had discovered numerous OF accounts with indicators of CSAM or S trafficking. The indicators included keywords and
Jesus.
images found by searching the publicly available profiles of OF creators, said the report. With these methods, researchers uncovered a tremendous amount of troubling material on the platform. The whistleblower said he reviewed the report, which notes the anti-money laundering duties of financial institutions
Jesus
before
fucking
publication to
Christ.
ensure it reflected industry practice. ATII's investigation was shared with MasterCard and Visa. The whistleblower complaint said the companies didn't respond to questions about the ATII report. ATII declined to comment. So that's pretty much all I want to cover about this potentially very disturbing situation
God.
involving some massive corporations with
Yeah, Tanashi, yeah,
global
it will.
influence who might be
And, if charges get filed, OF is going to basically get nuked off the fucking planet. If they actually file charges, like, honestly, with this report coming out, with Rev making it public like this, bear in mind, Rev's report is from 2 days ago. I'm 2 days late into this. With this starting to become public, I think we may start seeing people actually starting to jump ship. If charges actually get filed, it will nuke the entire business off the global map.
according to these allegations, overlooking abuse material targeting children and exploiting children so they can keep making a profit. I mean, if these things are true, this is absolutely evil behavior. And again, any sharing of this video, very appreciated. I think this is something that deserves a lot more conversation, especially since these reports have come out about a month ago and there's not been a lot of movement about this. And I was shocked to discover this today. And yeah, I wanted to immediately scrap everything else I was doing in terms of content today and instead talk about this because I think this is obviously something that is very, very important to get some eyes on. And again,
Yes.
these are all allegations and whistleblower reports and things like that, but it looks very suspicious.
This goes
I think, to
way
anyone looking
beyond
at this.
that.
And given the track record,
Okay. This goes way beyond the adult film industry being like scummy and exploitative. This is a universe apart from the adult film industry. Let us not fuck with this. This is not even close to the same thing.
of all these companies involved, nobody's really surprised that a scenario like this might have popped up, and that's really sad.
I don't know,
But anyways,
Bourbon.
that's going to do it for this video. As always, I appreciate you guys watching. Feel free to share your thoughts about today's topics in the comment section down below, and I'll see you guys next time.
Holy crap. Yeah, I mean, at the very least, guys, please feel free to, if you want, share Rev's video. I'm going to go to Overdrive with editing tonight. This will probably be the first fucking video that I edit out of all of them, so I can get this up on my YouTube page ASAP. Feel free to share the fuck out of it and Rev's video on whatever social media platforms that you want. Like I said, when stream is done, I'm probably gonna immediately go into editing and edit this video first and get it out on YouTube. So hopefully an hour after I finish stream, this will be up on my YouTube. Please feel free to share it. Yeah, feel free to share it. Share Rev's video as well. Share them both. This needs to get out there. This absolutely needs to get out there. So we spread the word. We've got over 100 people in this channel. Every single one of us put this out. Let get word out on this. If you want, you can tag people that you think would be interested in this. Get the word out on this. This this needs to, this information on this needs to get out there for people to see.